In 1937, a group of Christian doctors undertook an adventure in education that ultimately crossed many borders. When they established themselves in what was once called the Magic Valley, the founders of the school had only one objective in mind: to establish a Christian center for education. Although the school had humble beginnings, the efforts and generosity of the founding doctors paid off so much that during the 1960s, hundreds of young Christian people were seeking enrollment at Valley Grande Adventist Academy. While some were able to afford the Academy's tuition, many more that were less fortunate were unable to. To remedy this situation, decided to create a means to help students pay off their tuition, while at the same time creating a means to provide perpetual funding for the school. It was for these reasons that they founded a nursing home for the elderly called Valley Grande Manor. Operating the nursing home generated funding which was given to the school on a monthly basis. Furthermore, it provided an abundance of work for the students of Valley Grande Adventist Academy. A foundation was set up in order to administrate this new funding for the academy. Today, it is known as Valley Educational Foundation, VEF. Its function was to safeguard the money that the nursing home subsidized for the academy and the money that was needed to run the nursing home on a day-to-day basis. But 2 decades later, the nursing home was not generating sufficient funding for the school, so the foundation's board of directors had to make a decision. Faced with these circumstances, the board asked for the help of Glenn Hamill, a fellow member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Hamill started out as a consultant for the foundation, but eventually hired on as the full-time administrator for the nursing home. After a while, the foundation asked him if he would take the nursing home under contract, so that the church wouldn't have to worry about the legal responsibilities of running a nursing home. Under the terms of the contract, Hamill promised to pay the foundation approximately $450,000 a year in order to sustain the school. Part of any additional profits would be considered as compensation to Elder Care for its administration of the nursing home. At that time, Steve Gifford was president of the Texas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists.
I talked to the nursing home division, I talked to the leaders of Adventist Health System, and they all said, this is a tremendous opportunity for the conference and for the school.
Right from the start of Hamill's administration, the nursing home began to achieve success. In a relatively short period of time, the state of Texas has recognized Valley Grande Manor as the only nursing home in Hidalgo County to achieve a coveted 5-star rating for excellence in nursing home care service. It offers such a high standard of care that the state of Texas also uses the facility as a training ground for nursing home inspectors. Additionally, several local nursing schools use Valley Grande Manor as a clinical site for the training of their nursing students. By the year 2000, Valley Grande Adventist Academy was reaching prestige on an international level. Because of its reputation and excellent academic curriculum, students from Japan, Korea, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Mexico, in addition to those from the United States, can be seen roaming its hallways. The Academy offers a kindergarten through 12th grade education, forming a part of the Adventist educational system, which is the second largest Protestant educational system in the world.
Adventists have as a key element of their educational system an understanding that to have a knowledge of God and an understanding of the plan for the life of an individual is perhaps the most important aspect of existence and life itself.
Former First Lady and current U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has publicly recognized the merits and virtues that Adventist schools continue to provide.
One of the things I admire most about Seventh-day Adventists, in addition to your faith, is your commitment to preach, teach, and heal. Your emphasis on educating and nurturing your fellow man and woman is a model for all people of faith to follow.
Valley Grande Academy, located in Weslaco, which is in deep South Texas, has produced alumni who have gone on to become professionals in many fields, including medicine, literature, and law, just to name a few. It has even produced a national hero, Harlan Henry Block, who is also an alumnus of Valley Grande Adventist Academy and is one of the U.S. Marines who famously raised the American flag in Iwo Jima, Japan during the Second World War.
When a parent sends their child to an Adventist school, that teacher and that administration is going to care about the whole student, not just their marks, their ability to read or write or to add numbers, but character development, social skills, interpersonal skills, leadership opportunities, and spiritual development. And those teachers, and what we care about more than anything else in Adventist education, is who is in the classroom. That's who makes a difference.
While the school and nursing home worked harmoniously together, changes were beginning to occur at the Texas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Its president, Steve Gifford, was preparing for retirement after having served in that position for over a decade. His position was taken over by Leighton Holly, but the treasurer position for the conference continued to be held by Errol Eder, who had previously tried unsuccessfully to end the contract between Valley Grande Manor and elder care. By the year 2005, continued differences between Errol Eder and elder care began to unravel the stability of the academy. Some believe that the school suffered not only because of its debts, but because it also seemed to have been abandoned by the Texas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. But contrary to Beardsley's opinions about character development, social skills, interpersonal skills, leadership opportunities, and spiritual development, those who governed the foundation and its income for the academy handled things much differently. They did not handle their differences with elder care in the same spirit of brotherhood that the Seventh-day Adventist Church professes to believe in.
Texas Conference came down here in 2005 and said, if you don't take over the responsibility, we're going to have to close the school down. So they were really left with no choice.
At that time, the academy had an outstanding debt of $275,000. That debt was acquired by the Texas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists itself. The conference was also in charge of the school's administration during that time of debt accumulation. According to Overfield, the offer to take over the school's administration along with its debt was not negotiable, and the offer was made by the current conference president, Leighton Holly, and conference treasurer, Errol Eder. You will recall that Errol Eder was the one who wanted to sever the business relationship between elder care and the manor during the previous conference administration. In order for Valley Grande Adventist Academy to stay open, local school constituent churches had to inherit the debt acquired by the conference, and they also had to assume responsibility for the costs of running the school. However, they did not assume the excess profits generated from the manor needed for the school's operating expenses. That money was forwarded directly to the Texas Conference itself, just as it continues to be today.
It's obvious that intimidation by the conference to their own pastors is evident. You need to tell people what we need them to hear.
This nursing home, which was created to provide a service for the local community's elderly and to offer financial stability for the continued existence of this fine academy for generations to come, now finds itself in the center of controversy and is also in the center of a legal dispute. Furthermore, this situation is threatening to destroy the dream of the original founding fathers of the academy. The school is in danger of having to close thanks to a lack of funding.
Church leadership bringing a lawsuit, in my opinion, against a board, a church member, a fellow church member, a Seventh-day Adventist church member, that just goes against the principles that I've ever learned since a young child about how we treat each other.
Overfield and others agree that the costs generated by this lawsuit threaten to shut down the school, and with it, the Christian education and morale of hundreds of Christian young people.